The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest in the Jet Report Success webinar series. My name is Harry Lewis, and I'm the Technical Content Manager here at Jet Reports. Today, we're going to take a brief look at the new features in the latest release, Jet Reports 2018 R2. The purpose of these monthly sessions is to help our customers and partners be successful with our entire suite of products. Each session will be on the second Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And now that you've registered for this session, you should be able to see all the upcoming sessions for this year on your calendar. If not, please make sure you do re-register. Next month, Sarah will take an in-depth look at the JetWeb portal, calling out those features that have been updated to make it even more helpful. And then in August, Amy will step us through the best practices of how to get started with creating a Jet report. Since 2002, Jet Reports has been providing reporting and business analytics tools designed specifically around the Microsoft ERP solutions, Microsoft NAV, GP, and AX, and they are now compatible with a wide range of other systems as well. Currently, over 13,000 companies in 94 countries use Jet Reports products for their reporting needs. So what are we going to look at today? We'll touch really briefly on just what Jet Professional is. We're going to take a look at the updated ribbon inside Excel so you can see what that looks like. Then we're going to touch on the new and improved items that are there. We're going to take a look at the Fast Financial interface and a couple of the changes that have been made there to make it more useful. And then we're going to take a look at the new Run in Background feature that is in both the Jet Excel add-in and available straight from your desktop. So as I said, we're focusing today on Jet Professional. Jet Professional is a fast and flexible reporting tool which leverages all the power and experience you have using one of the world's most popular business applications, Microsoft Excel. So rather than copying and pasting the same information each time the data in your ERP system changes, you can design your report once and then simply refresh it to get up to the date information. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. The first thing you may notice is that the Jet ribbon has been updated. Some icons have been modified. Some items have been regrouped and then placed with other related items so that it makes it easier for you to find them. And other options have been combined, such as the application and data source settings have been placed in here. And right now, as you can see, we've got the run options all spread out. We can take a look at that real quick and move those. The default functionality is to have that collapsed so that it's all under one button. And we'll look at more at the run here in just a moment. So now let's take a look at what I said, those new and updated features. And what I want to start with is the Fast Financials. Now, the Fast Financials is set up to make it very easy for Microsoft Dynamics NAV users to create simple financial reports. And so with its simple drag and drop interface, it makes life really easy and be able to do some quick and dirty stuff. Just as an example, I'm just going to grab a few things here. And the first thing I want you to notice is that I can click and unclick items. I'm not using the control key on the keyboard. I can if I wish, but I don't need to. Everything is now toggled. I can also still use the shift button on a keyboard to select a group of things if I so wish, or I can simply toggle those that I want. Let's go ahead and just grab a few here. We'll leave that one off since there's no data there. And I'm just going to bring it over into my blank worksheet. Now, first thing is, as soon as we do that, it creates an option sheet for us with the various options that can be used for this report. You'll notice here that the start date and end date are also brought over here onto the report page itself. This is very convenient. It makes it very easy to copy the columns and have multiple time periods. Let's just make a little demonstration of that here. I'll just put a date in here. And I'm going to make sure that this is set as a date. And I'm going to refresh that so it grabs what's over on that. And you can see that my data automatically refreshed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a quick copy of that column. Identical data. Then I'm going to update this so that let's go to the next time period. So I have a different start date. I'll make this the ending of that month. And you can see I've automatically got February's data and everything updated automatically. All of these formulas, when they were brought over, reference these date ranges so that when I make copies, it references the correct dates. Now, if I wanted to, I could take that, I can drag it out for a further period of time. And now I have, with just a few clicks, an entire year's worth of this report. Very simple thing. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm just going to put it up on my desktop. Oh, there we go. So we've got my expenses report. Now I can run this report. For instance, if I run it, it's going to bring up my options. I'll put it and say I want to see the last year's numbers. And there it is. All the numbers changed. It's given me up through the entire year. So as I mentioned a few moments ago, we're going to re-look at the run options. So the newest feature here is the run in background. You'll notice that the names have been changed. Instead of it saying report and refresh, we now have run and run from cache, just to help you understand what it does a little bit. But we've also introduced the run in background feature. Now what this does, as you can see here, it runs in the background. It does not use the current Excel application. It runs with limited resources so that it doesn't put a strain on your system. And I can continue to use Excel while my report runs. So let's go ahead and run this. I'll be prompted for, again, my report options. I'll just say, let's make it 2019 this time, just to get something different. I'll choose run. It's now going to be saved. It's been put in the background. You can see that it's running. Now I can now come in here. I can continue to use Excel to do whatever it is I need to do. And all this time, my report is running, and it's going to tell me when it's done. So I can continue doing whatever I need to do. I can make any changes in Excel that I need to. Oh, my expenses report has completed. And I can click on this balloon here, or I can click on the JET app, and I can bring that up. And I can see, oh, yep, there's completed, and I can open it if I wish. Let's go ahead and do that. It'll automatically launch Excel for me. And there is my report with the 2019 data that I asked for. Now, the beauty of that is I didn't have to do anything special. I just had to say, okay, go ahead and run it. It takes care of everything for me and then lets me know when it's ready to view. Now, as I mentioned, that's not only a feature inside Excel. I can be doing that without Excel loaded at all. Let's go ahead and close Excel. And I'm going to remove this from here. I will temporarily stop the PowerPoint so that we can see my desktop. And here's that expenses report that I had. Now I can come in here, I can right click on that, and one of my options is Run JET Report. So let's go ahead and choose that. Now, if I had multiple reports, I could choose multiple reports. I can choose up to 100 reports and have them all run at the same time. As it is, I just want the one. So again, I'm prompted for the dates. Let's go ahead, we did it for 2019. Let's go back to the 2017 numbers just to show how that works. And then I can choose Run. Now again, I have a little notification telling me that it's in progress. It will continue to do what it's doing. It's actually sitting there running the report. If I were to bring up the JET app, we can see that there it is. It's running. Now, again, I can be doing whatever else I need to be doing. I can be working in other applications and doing things while this is running. I have it open. It's now moved over to the completed. It didn't pop up a notification because I have this window open. If I hadn't, we would have gotten that same notification. And I can choose to open this. And again, it'll come up in Excel. And there it is. And again, it's set for the 2017 numbers, just like we asked for. Now, I can continue to work with this report if I wish. I can put it back to design mode. I can make changes to it. I can do it. I can run it some more. So that's how this feature works. It comes in really handy, especially if I want to run a batch of things at one time. I have them sitting in a folder. I can simply select them, right-click on that, say, run my reports, and then I can go do what else I'm doing while it's running those in the background. So as we've talked about, the ribbon has been modified to make it easier to use with this release. The Fast Financials has been updated to make it a little more convenient for doing things. It just makes it more powerful, makes it so that there's less work that has to be done on my part when I'm creating a report. And then the new run in background feature allows me to continue and be more productive since I don't have to dedicate Excel when I'm running a report. I can tell it to go ahead and run while I continue working on other things. So at this point, I want to try to open it up for any questions we might have. So any questions at all? All right, well, what we're going to do here is this was recorded. We will be putting this recording out on our online knowledge base, along with all the other recordings for the previous sessions. It will be available later today. And so if you want to come back, you can view that and revisit anything. I guess that's it for today. I want to thank you for coming and visiting with us. This is a really exciting product that we are really having fun with, and we hope you enjoy it as well. I missed the questions that came in during our webinar. As some of you observed, I was looking at the wrong window. So let's look at those now. Robin asked, should the JET ribbon have updated automatically? Once the latest version of JET is installed, the new ribbon will be visible. This can be obvious or not, depending on which buttons you have set to be visible in the JET ribbon settings under the app settings. Richard had asked about the cost of the upgrade. As long as your organization is current on their Annual Enhancement Program, or AEP, all upgrades are available at no extra cost. If you're not sure about your AEP status, you can contact your JET representative. Kevin wanted to know if JET Professional works with Dynamics 365 Business Central. We released a separate product named JET Reports Financials, which includes the Fast Financials feature for use with Business Central. Edith wanted more details about the Run from Cache option. When a JET report is run for the first time during an Excel session, the JET Excel add-in keeps track of the data that is retrieved from your database. That is, it caches the data. Then, when you rerun the report during that same Excel session, rather than go out and retrieve the same data again, which is what the Run option does, Run from Cache uses the data it already has. This improves the speed for running your report. If you want to ensure that your report reflects any changes that might have taken place within the database itself since the last time you ran the report, you'll want to use Run instead. Thanks, Edith. To answer Kenny's question, while JET Reports 2018 R2 is compatible with Dynamics NAV 2018, you can use any version of NAV 5.0 or higher. And finally, David asked if, when running a report in the background, you could continue making changes to that report. You can open any other file, but if a report is being run in the background, the automated system needs exclusive access to that file. After we completed the webinar, there were a couple of questions that were sent in. First, Chris stated, you mentioned that the run-in background uses limited resources. Can you provide any details to give our clients reasonable expectations? That's a great question, Chris. The run-in background feature uses the same autopilot functionality as does the JET scheduler. There is, of course, some overhead in getting the report queued up and ready to go, but after that it will run quite quickly. Then the report is saved, and then the notification appears. The JET application will display the entire elapsed time, including the pre and post overhead. Overall, however, you can expect to see very little difference, especially if you consider the manual process of opening Excel, opening your workbook, running the report, saving the results, and moving on from there. I would actually expect running the report in the background to be a little faster than that. Again, great question. Finally, Mary Beth asked, once you've set up your report using the Fast Financials button, is there an easy way to add new accounts later on? As a matter of fact, there are multiple ways. Which you choose depends on how your report is already set up. Let's look at that. Here I've used Fast Financials to place my building maintenance expenses on the worksheet, but I forgot my electricity and heating account. In this particular instance, I can simply add it to the end, and we're all set. More likely, however, is that I'm going to have other data that we need to take into consideration. Here I have the same two accounts, but they are surrounded by the heading and totaling accounts. Placing my new account after the totaling account wouldn't make a lot of sense. So I have a couple of options. I can add a new row into the correct spot in my report, and then drag and drop the new account right into place. Even simpler, if there is enough extra room in my report, I can bring across the entire account block and overwrite what is already on the worksheet. I'll receive a notification that overwriting the existing data is something that Excel cannot undo. Once done, all my information is present. Thanks, Mary Beth. So for now, have a great day. Thanks for coming.